So to understand local scripts, services, and eventually remote events, I'd like to talk about the server-client relationship in Roblox. So whenever you start a game, there's a server, and then whenever a player joins, they're the client. And, and so let's say each of these clients is a player. Data can go from the server to a client and back, but I can't put data from a client to another client. If I wanted to do that, I have to take data from this client and go to the server, go to that second client. Services are all of these top level objects in Explorer, like Workspace, players, lighting, replicated storage, server storage, starter GUI, all of those, plus a lot of things that aren't listed here. Some of these services are only usable on the server. Some of them are only usable on the client. Like Workspace is actually replicated. Workspace can be used on the server and the client, along with replicated storage. Server script service is only on the server, so is server storage. And things like starter character scripts and starter player scripts are local to the client only. Local scripts run on the client only, and a normal script runs on the server only. Local scripts are used for managing a player's UI and their input, stuff that is local to the client. Then you'd send that data to the server. And on the server side of scripting, I usually like to take client data, compare it with their saved data, and I don't know, handle anything else on the server that shouldn't be handled with the client, like actual raycast to do damage, changing values of player saved data, etc. A local script will not run in Workspace. It's actually not good to put any scripts inside of Workspace. Usually, I'll put my server scripts inside of server script service, and my local scripts inside of starter player scripts or starter character scripts, wherever they have to go. So yeah, that's going to be it from now on. No more scripts inside of Workspace. I'll go over this again once I get into the game design tutorials. So here's an example of a local script and how it'll differentiate from a server script. So I'm going to make a part inside of a local script. And make sure that your local script is inside of starter player scripts. Part.parent is going to be Workspace. We can set it to Workspace because Workspace is on the client and the server. And so I can actually go up here and emulate a server. I want to actually do 2 players for this, and I'll hit start. And we'll wait for the server to pop up. And you can see some similarities between that little diagram I made earlier. So, here's our server, and these other 2 windows are the 2 players and the clients. So as you can see, there's a part that spawned from our script underneath that other player. I'll go ahead and move him, and he has a part too. But on the server, there's nothing because it's only on their clients. However, it's a different story if I take the same code and put it in a script inside of server script service. I'm going to go ahead and remove that local script. I'm going to start the server again. So now instead of a part on the individual clients, we have a part on the server that's going to get replicated to each of the clients. As you can see, the part will show up here and on this other client. And if I try to remove it from the client, it's still going to be on the server. Alright, I'm going to go over getting services really quick. Most of these services are going to have their own video dedicated to them because there's just a lot of stuff inside of each service. So let's say on a script I want to get data store. Well, I can do local, I'll do DSS for short, equals game, get service, data store service. And then I'd be able to use DSS to access everything I need for my data stores. And then on like a local script, I could do local UIS for short, which would be game, get service, user input service. Oh, wrong one. Autocorrect. User input service. So I could use UIS to get everything I needed for the user input on their client.